Greetings from Atheists with Attitude and the Little Red Bible Book. Now tonight's story is taken from the Book of Mark. We have no idea who wrote the Book of Mark. We have no idea who wrote anything in the Bible, come to that. But the name Mark was attributed some hundreds of years after the book was written. And so that'll do for tonight. The Book of Mark, chapter 5. Before we begin, I'll just read a bit from the chapter before that, chapter 4. Jesus is taking a trip from somewhere to somewhere on a ship. We don't know why he took this trip, but maybe he just wanted a little bit of a pleasure cruise or something, and he's on this ship, and a storm breaks out, and everyone's terrified on the ship. And Jesus says, look, nothing to worry about. And Jesus climbs out of his cabin, goes on deck, and he rebukes the wind. He rebukes the wind. And lo and behold, the wind goes away. It stops just like that. End of storm. Storm disappears. Now, that's pretty good. I'm an ex-merchant seaman. I wish I had sailed with someone like Jesus, just click his fingers and end of storm. It would have been nice if Jesus had paid a visit to New Orleans a few years ago. Could have just put a stop to it. No levees breaking or whatever, end of tragedy. No tragedy. But anyway, that's another story. We'll move on to chapter 5 because that's the main purpose of tonight's little talk. They land, the ship lands somewhere or other. It doesn't exactly say where. Well, I think it probably does, but I can't pronounce all these Hebrew words, so don't worry about it. It's not important. Jesus goes ashore, strolling along the beach, and out comes a man, a crazy man as it happens, from the tombs, or the crypt. It depends which version of the Bible you read. What have I got here? I've got the New American Standard Bible with me tonight. They're all much the same. They're all total crap, but at least the New American Standard Bible is easy to read. So this crazy man comes out of the tomb. He's cutting himself with shards of glass or something, I don't know. Maybe it's a Swiss Army knife, it doesn't say. And Jesus says to him, he asked him his name, and no, that's the strange thing. No, I shouldn't, that's not quite right what I was saying. He doesn't actually address the crazy man himself. Apparently the crazy man has an unclean spirit. Turn the page and the unclean spirit is referred to sometimes as a demon and other times as a devil. But anyway, to begin with, it's referred to as an unclean spirit. Jesus speaks to the unclean spirit because he's unsure how to handle this situation, the unclean spirit, for all its faults, is obliging. It wants to help. So the unclean spirit says, when Jesus asks its name, the unclean spirit says, well, we are legion, meaning, there's heaps of us. There's thousands of us. So Jesus said, oh my God, how am I going to handle this situation? I'm used to dealing with the odd demon here or there, but thousands of you? And the unclean spirit says, look, Jesus, don't worry about this, mate. I can handle this situation. I can talk you through this. All you've got to do is instruct us to vacate the man's brain. And look, see up yonder, up the hill just there, you'll see 2,000 pigs. And Jesus is like, oh yeah, little porkers. Hello! The unclean spirit says to Jesus, instruct us to vacate the man's head, zoom up the hill, into the brains of these 2,000 pigs, and that'll be all your problems. End of trouble, end of problem, everything will be cool. So, thank you very much. Jesus is, most obliged and happy and thankful for this advice. You have to wonder sometimes why, the Son of God, who is God, couldn't figure it out for himself, why he had to sort of consult unclean spirits. But hey, let's not be picky. So anyway, Jesus does as he's advised. He instructs the unclean spirits, hey, get out of that man's head, vacate that man's head, and zoom up the hill and infest those pigs. And the spirits do exactly as they're instructed. They zoom out of the crazy man, up the hill, zoom, 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 into the pig's brains, and the pigs go crazy. But hey, look, not a problem, because the man himself, the crazy man, starts to feel better. He starts, whoop, you know, he gets feeling back in his hands and head clears. He's feeling, you know, quite normal. So, you know, all is not lost. The pigs, unfortunately, go quite crazy, start leaping around, dancing. I don't know what it is pigs dance to, you know, who let the pigs out or something. And they go zooming down the hill, over a cliff, into the sea, and they drown. All 2,000 of them. 2,000 dead corpses of pigs floating around on the edge of the sea. But, you know, the guy's feeling much better. It's, you know, it has a happy ending. The guy thanks Jesus, and let's have a look. I think apparently he goes off and he writes about his experiences. You know, I mean, his sanity is restored. He probably goes on to become an accountant or something. What isn't recorded, I find this rather odd. You know, whoever it was wrote this book. He omitted to mention the pig farmer's response. You know, how did the pig farmer respond to all this? Did he sort of go up to Jesus and say, oh, you know, Son of God, who is God, praise be, you know, I've lost 2,000 of my finest pigs that I spent a lifetime raising and nurturing, but, you know, wonderful outcome and so on, or, you know, or is it more likely that he said, you fucking moron, you fucking piece of Hebrew maggot shit, you fucking drowned 2,000 of my pigs, and for what? Just to cure one man of a mental disorder? You've got to be joking. Do you mean to tell me, oh, Son of God, who is God, that you couldn't think of a more practical method of curing a man of a mental disorder than drowning 2,000 pigs? And really, when you come to think about it, I mean, I made that up. You realise that, don't you? That's not in the Bible. You know, the man didn't actually say that. I'm just sort of wondering what his response might have been, and it could have been something like that. And had he said something like that, you know, you can understand it. You can sympathise, empathise, whatever, you know, with this poor pig farmer. And, you know, let's face it, if ever you were to suffer from a mental disorder, so perhaps you were feeling a little bit depressed, or, you know, start talking to the garden gnomes at the bottom of your garden, and you decided, I'm going to go and, you know, get a little bit of help here. And you visit a psychologist, and the psychologist welcomes you, you know, welcome to my consulting room. It's good to say, take a seat. But Wolf, do you have to take a drink just as I'm reading the Little Red Bible book? Okay. Wolf, please stop. Just for a minute. Thank you. Thank you very much. Good boy. Good boy. Imagine how you would react if the psychologist or psychiatrist, whatever, said to you, relax, take a seat, nice to see you. Have you brought your 2,000 pigs with you? Let's face it, be honest about this, O ye Christians. You'd be out of that consulting room in a second's flat. You'd be out of there. He wouldn't see you for dust, because you'd be thinking to yourself, hang on, which one of us is the madman here, you or me? And think about it for a moment. If you were to travel from one end of the earth to the other, does the earth have ends? Don't believe it does. Some of you might believe it does. If you were to travel around the earth, and perhaps travel all over deepest, darkest Africa, looking for a witch doctor, or maybe go to the Amazon jungle, Brazil, search Amazon jungle, see if you can find a, you know, one of these sort of witch doctor types there. What do they call them? I don't know, it doesn't really matter. Or you could sort of catch a boat and go to Haiti and speak to hundreds and hundreds of you know, voodoo witch doctors and whatever, and You know, you might meet the odd witch doctor who chews off a chicken's head or something, but you could travel all around the world, you could spend the rest of your life searching, and nowhere would you come across anyone so fucking stupid, so heartless, so absolutely moronic as to drown 2,000 pigs to cure just one man of a mental disorder. And you know that that's true. The only place you'll find that is here, right here, in the Holy Bible, Mark 5. That's the end of this lesson from the Little Red Bible Book, or what will become the Little Red Bible Book. This is Lone Wolf and my thirsty doggy, Wolf, saying to you, thanks for watching, good night and good luck.